Colton Underwood is opening up like never before, and the story he's telling now is not the glamorous, passion-filled first time so many imagine. Instead, he's describing it as an experience marked by confusion, guilt, and shame, an emotional low point rather than a milestone. In a recent, deeply personal interview, Colton reflected on the moment he lost his virginity, and his words are cutting through the glossy veneer that so often surrounds celebrity love lives. He said, "That was your closeted, confused man," laying bare the truth that his first sexual encounter happened when he was still hiding his sexuality from the world and, in many ways, from himself. To fully understand why this confession hits so hard, you have to remember Colton's history. He was introduced to the world as an NFL hopeful, and later, as a contestant on The Bachelorette before becoming The Bachelor himself in 2019. From the start, his identity in the public eye was tied to one defining label, the Virgin Bachelor. It became the centerpiece of his season, teased in promos, dissected in interviews, and treated as a quirky selling point for the show. But while the producers leaned into that narrative for drama, behind the scenes Colton was navigating a far more complex reality. He wasn't just saving himself for marriage, he was grappling with the fact that he was gay, a truth he wasn't ready to face, let alone share with millions of viewers. That disconnect between the public image and the private struggle made his so-called first time all the more complicated. It didn't feel like a personal triumph or an intimate connection. Instead, it carried the weight of secrecy, internalized fear, and the pressure to conform to expectations. Colton now admits that the experience was clouded by the shame of living in the closet. It's a vulnerable acknowledgement that completely reframes the conversation around his past, especially when compared to the lighthearted, sometimes mocking tone the media used at the time. Fast forward to April 2021, when Colton came out publicly as gay. It was a groundbreaking moment for the Bachelor franchise. He became the first lead to come out, and it marked the start of his journey toward living authentically. The road hasn't been easy. His past relationships, particularly with Cassie Randolph, ended in controversy when she filed a restraining order against him in 2020, alleging stalking and even the use of a tracking device on her car. That chapter was dark and messy, but in time, the restraining order was dropped, and Colton began the work of rebuilding his life. In 2023, he married political strategist Jordan C. Brown in a beautiful, private ceremony. Then, in September, they welcomed their son, Bishop, via surrogate, a moment Colton has called the most fulfilling of his life. Those milestones represent a far cry from the days when his identity was defined by a reality show's marketing hook. And now, with the release of his new Hulu and Disney Plus dating show Are You My First?, Colton is leaning into a role that feels deeply personal. The show, co-hosted with fellow Bachelor Nation alum Caitlin Bristow, premieres August 18, 2025, and follows virgin contestants as they explore intimacy, connection, and emotional vulnerability in a safe, judgment-free space. It's not about rushing into sex or manufacturing drama. It's about guiding people through their first experiences with care and empathy. Colton's own confession about his painful first time adds a powerful layer to the series. He knows firsthand how damaging it can be when your first experience isn't aligned with who you truly are. Caitlin Bristow has described the series as raw and vulnerable, emphasizing that it's less about the act itself and more about the journey of self-discovery. Colton echoes that sentiment, saying he hopes to give contestants the environment he never had, one where they can be fully themselves without fear of judgment or ridicule. For someone whose own story was shaped by media scrutiny and personal secrecy, helping others feel safe enough to embrace their truth seems like a mission that's both professional and deeply personal. Of course, public reaction to Colton's confession has been mixed. Many fans have praised him for his honesty, calling his words brutally authentic and healing to hear. They see it as a sign of growth and self-awareness, proof that he's not just moving forward but also looking back with compassion for his younger self. Others, however, can't forget the controversies in his past and question whether this new openness is part of a redemption arc. In celebrity culture, redemption is never a straight line. It's complicated, messy, and constantly under public review. But Colton isn't shying away from that complexity. By speaking openly about the shame he felt, he's challenging the idea that a first time is always a positive memory. He's reminding us that it can also be a moment of reckoning, especially for those who are still hiding parts of themselves. And by tying that personal truth to the launch of Are You My First?, he's turning his past pain into a teaching moment for others. This isn't just another headline about a Bachelor Nation alum. It's a story about taking control of your own narrative. Colton Underwood is no longer the man defined by a network gimmick. He's a husband, a father, and now, someone determined to change the way we talk about intimacy, vulnerability, and what it truly means to have a first time. His message is clear: it's not about how, when, or with whom it happens, it's about how you feel afterward, and whether you can tell your truth without fear. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.